Each Jeep Jamboree is an adventure waiting to happen. Every location has a different feel. Each city, including Llano, Texas, has its own personality, but they all have one thing in common. Every Jeep Jamboree is in a uniquely gorgeous area. At the Texas Spur Jeep Jamboree USA, the off-road side of the experience isn't just an afterthought. We came here to wheel. Each Jamboree starts out with a quick tech inspection. Now the reality is that trail staging is more like a mega Jeep show and shine, and a chance to hang with those fellow Jeepers. They just seem to understand, things. We all show off our latest upgrades and absolutely necessary accessories. Our individual names may be forgotten, but as Jeepers, we each remember what we drive. It's not a judgment thing, and the names will of course come as the week progresses. It's time to get started. 165 Jeeps, all throttled up with eager anticipation and a good coffee rush, edging them towards some of the Jeep Jamboree's most legendary and extreme wheeling. The energy was palpable. Nothing was going to slow us down. Oh, it's game on. But first, a meeting.
Jeeps, 305 people. So honestly, rode up 18 different states in the country. And how many have been here before? So you can see how popular this place is, because once you come, you want to come back. How many are first timers? All right.
Yep, you heard right. We just watched 165 amped up Jeepers flee the confining parking lot of life and embark on a journey of discovery filled with metal testing encounters. That's one's personal metal and hopefully not the Jeep's sheet metal. At first glance, the 25-acre ranch is drop-dead gorgeous. The rock formations and sprawling vistas are, shall we say, eclectic. Rivers, wide open views, green trails through trees, and of course rocks, massive rocks. Welcome to the Watch Mountain Trailhead. Word on the street is that the Texas Spur Jeep Jamboree ranks right up there with some of the most technically difficult terrain that the Jeep Jamborees have to offer. It also includes some of the most uncommonly beautiful and unforgiving terrain you'll ever see. Each trail has its extra credit opportunities for those with nerves of steel and the correct wheelbase. Watch Mountain revealed its namesake as we crested the top of a mega steep climb and found something to watch. Such an amazing view of Texas. Yes, the Jeep Jamboree USA is all about amazing trails, friends, and all that good stuff, but each Jamboree is also a mini Jeep show. Just about every model Jeep ever built is represented, and there are some nice builds here. As we crisscross through the rocks, one has to wonder, who in the world thought this would be a trail and drove it for the first time? I'm sure all of us Texas Spur first-timers had the same Who decided this was a trail thought as we crossed through areas any non-Jeeper would deem insane? Perfect. Going up a nasty trail is always a good time, but coming down one is an entirely different experience. Long forgotten treasures found their way out from under our seats as we dropped off a steep boulder into a 35-inch tire swallowing a wedge. Then we were off to the next trail. When you see a sign that says Moab, one has to contemplate the wisdom of proceeding. I mean, Moab, tough trails, steep climbs, giant rocks, rollovers, body damage. Was this trail aptly named? Of course it was. The trip up some of the obstacles was only possible because of the "are you kidding me" traction the rough red granite provided. Now this is the same granite that is shipped to the Chinese so they can make countertops out of it. We were happy to test the rock's durability for them. Each vertical climb to the top of the trail is rewarded with a stop and stare visual. It was like the formations were almost alien. The old "what goes up must come down" adage holds true as we worked our way back down until we reached an authentic Jeep jam. By now, we all know that when forward motion stalls and becomes a rush hour parking lot, we have something to look forward to. There was a group ahead of us, and it was slow going. That's okay. We took the opportunity to watch and learn. Learning from the success or failure of others is a valuable tool. Lesson 1. Watch and believe your spotter. I have no idea why they call this twisted, off-camber, flex testing, are we seriously driving up that obstacle, photo op. Remember lesson 1, that whole follow your spotter thing? This is a good time to apply the lesson. Our spotters all volunteered their time and energy. I mean, half of them walked the entire trail for our well-being. Our survival, as well as that of our Jeeps, is their calling in life. It's a testament to the ability of our trail guides as we got through, mostly unscathed, and prepared for the next downhill section.
Not a video that needs to be filmed like that. Yeah.
Some trail runs are a series of long, boring drives with little action sprinkled in to barely keep it interesting. Not the Texas Spur Jeep Jamboree. This event is one thing after another. with 10-minute little breaks that are just enough to get us to the next trail.
Nice and easy.
What's really notable and even unique about Jeep Jamborees is that we're all able to get out and really see what our Jeeps and the driver can do. What a great opportunity to learn and improve our driving skills, as extremely patient trail guides ensure that we don't do anything too dumb or something that would break or damage our rigs. Sometimes it's appropriate to do some mental work prior to attempting an obstacle.
Listen to Lee. Okay? And your urge, I promise you, because I still do it, your urge is to turn to the wall.
Yes. Don't hug that wall, I'm telling you, or you'll just be upside down.
See this rock? From where that rock is, make you a painted line right here.
And when an obstacle has a big old sign that says spotter required, it's probably one of those occasions. Taking the correct line made the drop-off of death a walk in the park. Well, maybe Central Park, but we all listened, believed, and lived. Most of the trails that any of us have the chance to run are pretty well traveled, and it's obvious where to go next. Texas Spur is on private land, and there's no other Jeep groups running the trails. It's a rare opportunity to travel the less traveled. Sometimes it's better to not be the biggest Jeep on the trail. Other times, a little more breakover clearance is a nice feature.
Real good. And you're driving well too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm coming.
The trail changed from rock to trees to a sandy riverbed. If you're ever wondering about how your tires would perform under all conditions, you came to the right place. The river bottom has a strange mix of water, hard-packed sand, brush, and the occasional patch of Jeep quicksand. Not to worry, as Jeepers we know that no Jeep will be left behind. We also make it our policy to always render assistance and to never make fun of someone that managed to get stuck. Why? Because, well, we might be next. Eating crow is not really a great meal. Now that was in fact a well-executed Jeep leapfrog demonstration. Hunter's Hill. It's easy to see. It's a hill right behind a hunter's cabin. Our personal guide, Doug, brought us up to the hill the day before the Jamboree so we could get some shots. So the following day, when we were a little bit behind the group, we had total confidence in our navigational abilities to find the trail again. I mean, there's a cabin, then a hill, and there it is. It's easy. Still, no Jeeps to be found. Is this even a trail? My wife would be encouraging me to ask for directions. Totally knew where we were. Like many of the trails, Hunter's Hill is up and back down loop.
Now turn that way, get up on that wall over there. Like that. Right across. But you have to remember, the Jeep was driving. Go.
The trail is a great mix of nature, steep verticals, and once again some great visuals as we stop to celebrate making it to the top. Next up is Homestead. That sounds like a little more friendly kind of a trail. But even the less nasty trails are still fun to drive with just enough action to keep it interesting. Towards the top, there were some still give it a bump obstacles, but the rocks there have amazing traction. It'll make your Jeep look like it's unstoppable.
The right spotter, all things are capable.
If you're making a Jeep Jamboree USA bucket list, make sure you sign up for the Texas hospitality and some inhospitable trails. Hey, that's why we have a Jeep. Get out and use it.